What's up everyone, Coach Dan back again for day 55 of our at-home OTF workouts, and today's edition is another Greatest HIITs edition, meaning we're bringing back some of the more popular blocks from the last week. So we got a bunch of great challenging blocks, total body workout, got a lot of upper body in there, we got some core, we got intervals, so you're gonna definitely have a great workout here. As always, once you've done it, please share on social media. We love seeing all your posts. Also, join us live on Zoom. The Breakfast Club or the Early Risers, I'll see you at 7 a.m. But we also got classes at 1 p.m. with Coach Katie and then later 7:30 with Coach Emily. So have a great one, guys. Also be on the lookout for more challenges. See you soon.
This total body dynamic warm-up is going to be 6 minutes of work, 3 exercises. We're going to go ahead and start 30 seconds per side of a hip rock. Starting in a tabletop position, we're going to kickstand one leg out, sitting back on that heel, really working those hips and inner thigh. At 30 seconds, you'll switch sides. Next up, we have a hamstring stretch into a knee tuck. Kickstanding one heel forward, toes pointing towards the ceiling. We're sitting back on that back leg. Then we'll rock forward, driving that back leg up, knee to about hip height. Last but not least, we have 1 minute of a seal jack. Arms nice and wide to open up the chest, feet nice and wide as well. An option here, we can always step it out and back to a starting position. You have 2 full rounds. Go ahead and get warmed up.
Fight can easily die. Yes, I swear that it'll rise. Will without you. This is for the lack of mine. Today, boys, sit and think I will keep quiet. 'Cause I will be fine. Will without you. I can feel it burning through like fire. Yeah, I can feel it burning through like
So for this Tabata block, we're stepping into the ring. 2 exercises, 4 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. Exercise 1, jump rope, imaginary jump rope. Side to side, getting the movement through the arms, think explosive, powerful, ready for the big fight. For exercise 2, we're stepping into the ring. Iso squat, alternating punch. Nice and strong, nice and powerful. It's time to fight. Again, 2 exercises, 4 rounds. Let's get to work.
test your upper body strength on this block. 6 total exercises over the next 12 minutes. You're going to have 3 different variations on the push-up. You'll also need a set of medium weight objects. We're going to use our water jugs here. Round number 1, you're going to start with 15 reps of a standard push-up. Hands stacked underneath the shoulders, feet about wider than hip width, dropping that chest as low to the ground as you can, driving through the triceps back to your starting position. An option, drop down to the knees, but keep that core nice and tight. Next up, we're going to use our medium weight objects, 15 reps of a hip hinge low row. Shoulders squeezed, we're going to bring those elbows in nice and tight, bringing those objects to our chest, nice and controlled. You'll feel that tension in the hamstrings in that hip hinge. Next up, we're going to mix up that push-up. We're going to have 15 tricep push-ups. Hands are in a little bit closer, keeping those elbows in nice and tight. That's going to put an emphasis on the tricep. An option here, just like on your standard push-up, is to drop down to the knees. Next up, 15 reps of an upright row. Shoulders rolled back, bringing the elbows to our shoulder height, keeping those objects close to the body the entire way through. Next up, our third variation on the push-up, 15 hand release. We're going to come all the way down to the ground, bringing those hands just slightly off the ground, driving those hands back into the ground to our starting high plank position. Just like the last few push-ups, you can always drop down to your knees as that option. Last but not least, 15 reps of a bicep curl. Shoulders roll back, squeezing those biceps to bring the objects to shoulder height, nice and controlled back to your starting position. In round 1, you'll do 15 reps of each of the push-ups. We're going to drop that rep count down as we go along. Round 2, you'll have 10 of each push-up. Round 3, 5 of each. Let's get to work. right, we're going to elevate your heart rate with a combination of high impact and low impact exercises. You're going to have 7 exercises, 30 seconds of each for 3 rounds. And the good news is, Lindsay, you'll get 30 seconds rest after you're done with that 7th exercise. Let's go ahead and get started. 30 seconds of a jump squat. Feet hip width apart, driving through the heels, exploding, get a little bit of air underneath those toes. An option, squat into a calf raise. Then we'll take it into low impact, a nice light jog, or you can always march in place. Our third movement is an alternating pop squat. So that same jump squat, but we're going to add a little bit of a 90-degree turn coming back to your starting position. An option, squat and turn. Take the jump out of it entirely. Then we have our low impact, 30 seconds of a jumping jack. Arms nice and wide, reaching overhead, feet wider than hip width. An option, we can always step it out and step it back in. Next up, we've got speed skaters. We're going to be going from side to side, making sure that toe does not come behind our front leg. An option here, we can always step into a high knee. Our third low impact movement, 30 seconds of an alternating reverse lunge. Chest nice and tall, stepping back, dropping that back knee as low to the ground as you can. An option, you can always elevate that knee up just a little bit. We're going to close things out with high knees. Speed's the name of the game here. You're at the end of this round. You want to sprint it out right. An option here, you can always up the tempo into a march in place. Then you get to rest. Repeat 2 more times. Let's get to work.
and my tongue gets tied completely. My words slip by, my mind's eye. I confess I'm a mess when you walk by. Everything shifts to the sideline. Then I see how you feel from the inside. And you confide that you need me just to get by. My mouth runs dry when you're with me, and my tongue gets tied completely. My words slip by, my mind's eye. I confess I'm a mess when you walk by. Everything shifts to the sideline. Then I see how you feel from the inside. Then you confide that you need me just to get by. I see how you feel from the inside. And you confide that you need me just to get by.
Lindsay, we don't have a whole lot of time on this block, so we're going to get to the core of the matter. All right, we got 5 minutes of work here, 4 exercises. You're going to need a medium weight object as well as a lightweight object for this block. We're going to start with 10 reps of a power sit-up. Arms fully extended, feet hip-width apart, explode, pulling that belly button to spine, knees into the chest. An option here, reduce your range of motion. Next up, we're going to take our medium weight object. In this case, we have some kitty litter. Shout out to Lindsay's cat, Rue. 20 total reps of a seated torso rotation. That object is next to our chest, nice and tall, rotating from the torso. Heels are anchored. Option, reduce your range of motion. We're going to take our lighter weight object, 10 total reps of an alternating single leg V-up. Arms fully extended, belly button to spine. We're raising one leg at a time, trying to make contact with the object. An option here, bend at the knee to reduce the lever. Last but not least, 20 total reps of a bicycle crunch, rotating from the torso. Think more shoulder, trying to make contact with that opposite knee. An option here, you can always drop down both heels, turn it into an alternating crunch. You've got 5 minutes of work. Go ahead and get started.
Keep pushing on, keep bettering myself. Beat every obstacle, I don't need no one's help. Cause I'm fighting for it, I'm working towards it, I'm aiming on the stars. And I didn't give up everything to only get this far. Can't stop me now. Yeah, cause I'm just beginning, can't stop me now. I'm gonna push past the limits. No way that I'm gonna let nobody try to take me down. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. You know I give my all every step of the way. You know that I won't quit till everyone knows my name. Cause I sacrificed for this, my blood, sweat, tears, my life for this. So I'm gonna show them all, I don't care what they say. Cause I'm fighting for it, I'm working towards it, I'm aiming on the stars. And I didn't give up everything to only get this far. Can't stop me now. Yeah, cause I'm just beginning, can't stop me now. I'm gonna push past the limits. No way that I'm gonna let nobody try and I'm aiming on the stars. And I didn't give up everything to only get this far. Can't stop me now. Yeah, yeah, 'cause I'm just beginning. Can't stop me now. I'm gonna push past the limits. No way that I'm gonna let nobody try to take me down. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me.
You worked hard today, so you deserve this flexibility block. You will have 7 total stretches that you're going to hold for 20 seconds each. The first one, we have that overhead reach, moving from our side, 20-second hold per side, working the lats and obliques. Next up, we have a cross arm stretch. That's going to work the shoulders a little bit more, 20 seconds per side. Next up, standing chest stretch, bringing the arms to a 90-degree angle, drawing the elbows towards the back of the room to open up the chest. Next up, we have an internal rotator stretch, bringing the hands behind the back, chest nice and tall. Then, taking one hand, grabbing that ankle for a standing quad stretch. Fun little tip here, if you touch the nose or the ear, it's going to help with balance. But of course, if there's a chair nearby, go ahead and use it. Next, we have our kneeling forearm stretch. Fingertips facing the knees, pushing back on the hands, sitting back on the heels. You have 20 seconds there. Last but not least, we have our child's pose. So we're going to go ahead, bring the toes together, knees a little bit wider as we press back, enjoy sitting back in the stretch. Good job today.
Hook, jab, now it's round 2, now it's round 2. Empty my cup, but it's never enough. So I got my dukes, I got my dukes. Hook, jab, gonna cut my way through. Hook, jab, now it's round 2, now it's round 2. Rolling and ducking each blow one by one. 'Cause I got my dukes, I got my dukes up. 1 week past bedtime, I'm faded, searching for daylight, still pacing back and forth, back and forth. Got no one in my corner, and I gotta work it out. Feeling forces trying to dim my light. Teeth clenched, knuckles all white, all white, all white. Life got me punch drunk on the ropes, suffering blow by blow, fighting toe to toe.